It's a lot different, but it's really, really fun. I mean, I missed everything about racing and everything about competitive swimming, so it's just really nice to be back. I raced once, like an event or two in the fall of 16. There was like 2 meets and I swam one event in each meet, and then that was it. So yeah, it's been a long time. Yeah, no, trials was totally fine that summer. Yeah, it was, I believe, around October was when things started to flare up, and weren't sure what it was at first, and thought maybe I can just swim through it, and then torn labrum. Surgery I had in March, because you can kind of combat it with just, a intense rehab plan, and sometimes a lot of swimmers don't need it. A lot of athletes just don't need the surgery. It just depends on, the location of the tear and whether you're having symptoms or pain. And so for a while we were trying to go the different route of like no surgery, and and we were working at that for a while, and it just, everything we tried didn't really pan out. So it came to the final decision where there was really no other option. I feel like there's always some kind of doubt for like anyone that's going through some type of injury, regardless of how severe. And surgery is kind of like a daunting word, I think, to any athlete. So I mean, it was scary, and it was really, hard to see past what was right in front of me, which was I can't swim. So it was a little scary, but I mean, there were ups and downs, and like everybody has ups and downs in their career, so there are several moments that are popping out. Championship season last spring was really hard, just because I just wanted to be there with my team, and I couldn't. There was nothing I could do about it. So that was really frustrating. And also when I was finally like starting to get back in the pool and like was able to slowly start swimming again, was also really frustrating, because it was like I felt like an age group swimmer again, and I just kind of had to start all the way from the bottom, the very basics, and then just step by step come back. So I think I took my very first strokes after surgery at the very end of July. It started with a 50 a day, and then it was slowly building. Like, I remember once I got to school in August, so like middle of August, I could swim a 500 a day. So we went 500 a day. Then if there were no problems, no hiccups, it was 1,000 a day for the next week. No problems, 1,500 a day. And if there were any hiccups at any point throughout the week, we didn't take a step up. We kept it where we were. So it was a very slow process. And for a while I couldn't, like, it was all easy swimming. Like there was no like full exertion or anything like that. So like that was also really frustrating. It's like I'm only swimming like an easy 1,500 a day. So it was just very gradual. Yeah, totally new coaching staff. That was also terrifying, just because they had no idea what the last year was like for me. So I was a little nervous coming in with 4 totally new people that I'd never met before. They don't know me, I don't know them. And then this whole fiasco that just happened to me last year is now being like dragged into, making first impressions and building an initial relationship with a new coaching staff. But I couldn't have asked for a better transition. I think it went as well as it could have. But yes, definitely was terrifying at first. But it ended up going really well. It was really kind of uncomfortable, I think is probably a good word, because I didn't want to be like, out seeking attention or like needing extra help or, like just needing more attention than anyone else. I just wanted to kind of like do my thing and be able to, kind of not fly under the radar, but like, kind of stay low key. And it was really hard for me to like reach out and ask for help from people that I didn't know. But we had an initial meeting with Todd, everybody did, and then I had an initial meeting with Wes because he's my group coach, and we kind of sat down and was like, okay, well, this is a brief summary of the past 12 months for me, and this is a brief summary of where I'd like to go from here. And we just, took it step by step and started like, okay, well, what's the best thing that we can do today? What's the best thing that we can do this week? And then, once things started rolling and like we got to know each other better, then it was, the communication became easier. That part was also really hard, was setting realistic goals, because in my mind, I'm like automatically trying to go back to, the swimmer I was before any of this happened. And that was where I think the coaches were really helpful with kind of like reeling me in and like really talking, serious and what can really be done short term. That was another frustrating thing, is because, I was hearing these things like, okay, you're probably not going to be able to, do X, Y, and Z, like how exactly you would want to, but, we're going to do your best to get you as close as possible to that. And then I still have 2 more years after this, so it was just kind of, I just had to stay level-headed, and I tried not to think too much. I just tried to take it day by day and just be my best every day and see where that got me. After Georgia, that was a kind of a shocking meet, I would say, just because it was like the first meet I had been back suited up, like racing very talented people, and it was just obviously didn't play out exactly how I wanted it to in my head, but I think that kind of like sparked that inner competitive swimmer in me, and I came back and I was like, there's no excuses anymore. Like, I'm gonna give it my all every day and see where that gets me at the end. Like, I'm done kind of looking at myself as I was injured. I had surgery like X months ago, and I was like, that doesn't matter anymore. Like, what matters is what's happening right now, and I'm gonna do everything I can right now, and just didn't really look back. And after the couple dual meets that we had, I started swimming a lot better, and I was feeling more like myself, feeling stronger. So I would say after those dual meets, I think I got some of like my confidence back, and I knew that, in the atmosphere of ACCs, that I knew that the old me was gonna resurrect. It felt really good. I was just trying to soak it up, because I had never made an A final before, and I got 9th in both my individual events my first year. So I remember, like, just this morning when I touched the wall and turned around and saw the scoreboard, I knew there were like a bunch of 143s, and I looked right over the coaches. I was like, did I get in? Because I just could not. I would be so frustrated if it was another 9th place. So it was really satisfying, and just I was really happy to be there. It's a very different atmosphere, I would say, than the past years. A lot rowdier, like the pool deck is loud every day. There's a lot more energy, and I think we're just having a lot more fun. And I think that everybody swims their best when they're having fun. So, and being in an environment where we're trying to have fun and not just be like, oh, we have to do this, kind of like, I guess, took a weight off of everything and made, everything a little bit lighter and a little happier note. So, and all the positivity would really help, when I was kind of down on whatever was going on.